is up, Flip Squad? Welcome back to another podcast. To episode number 5. We have my co-host Alex, is your boys KUDOS, and this is the boys only podcast over here right now.
That's it, man. We had a nice little long break. You know what I'm saying? We tried to get a little bit more in, but unfortunately with the whole holidays and all that stuff, everybody had, their schedules a little different. Some people are under the weather. So we're definitely going to keep, the trend going. Hopefully by maybe another week or so, have everybody set up that we wanted to have, so we can have, these conversations. Because it seems like the conversations have been going well. People like the conversation, so hopefully we can just keep the interesting people coming.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I definitely want to chime in on the last couple of podcasts because this I feel like our podcast is very diverse. We obviously stick to the sports. We talk about our sports cards, but we also have these guests come in where they're not really correlated to the sports world in the way that we do it in our podcast, which is completely fine. And I like the narrative that it goes to. They get to chime in on their life. And we just kind of base the podcast off of their life. I like that direction we're taking. And I feel like we should do that when it comes to guests. Like, we should focus on them instead of making it about how our podcast is run. But, we're still going to do these episodes, the Boys Only podcast, where we pretty much, talk about our sports cards. We talk about what's going on in sports, the current live sport. So, but, I just want to give a shout out to everybody who came on to the podcast. I feel like, it was great. It was very natural. It was flowing. And everybody had great stories. I'm excited to bring more people on. It's, like you said, there's people you're reaching out to, and I'm also reaching out as well. So, it's just about getting them on and working with their schedule. So, unfortunately, we can't always do a podcast where we have a guest, but, we'll try our best to make that happen for sure. Let's talk about some of these hobby boxes. I know Alex was looking through the Panini website, and he came across a couple crazy things, and I'm gonna just let you start talking about it a little bit, and then I'll chime in right after.
I've been trying to get into this card situation now for a little while, and I got the Panini app, and this morning I got a nice little message and notification from them. So Panini apparently is coming soon, I guess before the season starts, maybe. 2022 Panini Flawless Baseball Trading Card Box. Don't know the price because the price is not set yet. But I did get to witness basically the same box, but for the NFL. And the box was insane because it was a bidding war for the box.
So just to clarify, the box you're currently talking about is a baseball box, right?
Oh, no, yeah, but the baseball box, because right now they don't have a set price for the box itself.
Are they doing a bid, or they're just waiting for it to release?
From what it seems right here, it looks like it's just pretty much a release.
Okay.
So there's no set price for the box as of yet. It doesn't say that there's a price out there yet, because it obviously would have told you in the bottom. But the box definitely contains 10 cards per pack, 1 pack per box. And it contains 7 autographs, 2 memorabilia cards, and 1 gem card per box on average.
Wow.
So you're going to get a bang for your buck. But the 2 premier cards that they do have, and I think to me, in the long run, is definitely going to be worth your money. The first one being the Flawless Signature Prime Materials Julio Rodriguez Seattle Mariners card. It has a patch of the jersey right on the card with his auto. The way that kid's played last year, coming up from the AAA, and putting the numbers that he did, and even got into a playoff, definitely is showing his worth. So I think now in a full season, he's gonna really, really, really boost his numbers up, and that card is really gonna hit a nice high mark. So that's definitely, like I said, if you're big into that, especially if you're a big Mariners fan, or if you're just a Julio Rodriguez fan, that's definitely the card. Definitely worth the money. The second card, and I think would probably be the most expensive card out of all of them, it's a Flawless 1/1 Aaron Judge card. And this is supposed to be like, for Panini, especially that Flawless card is supposed to be like the it card, because it's 1/1. They only made 1/1 of this card. and it's very good looking card. Um, I believe it looks like it may be an auto as well. They cut off the image on the bottom, but the card itself looks insane. So if it is a 101, it's definitely going to be worth a lot of money. Um, I've seen a lot of 101s go for a lot of money. It's just insane how these Panini cards kind of, go up in price really, really quickly from what I've been noticing. Some other noted things, and then I'm also reading about the pack now, so that way I can explain what you guys are going to get in this box. So you'll have ultra rare player specifics, multi-gem cards featuring Shohei Ohtani, MVP, 20 Gwyn hitting 394 and 94, which is another good card. And then the Home Run King Aaron Judge. That's the big card that's in the box. You have they have returning cards. So I'm guessing they did this before with a previous pack. So now they're gonna have returning or bat knobs. So the card has a bat knob right in the middle of it with the player and the auto on the bottom, which is very cool to me. Bat nameplates, clear cleat spikes, and a 1-of-1 cut signatures featuring Ruth, Cobb, Wagner, and more.
Wow.
All in this pack. So this thing is insane. And look for new baseball cards parallel featuring dual gems, U.S. gem signatures, and 1-of-1 jumbo batting glove brand logos. So this is like, a big thing for them. And then look for 7 autographs in each box.
What Alex is referring to is hobby boxes. Hobby boxes are very different from blaster boxes. Blaster boxes are the ones you find in retail. Those are the ones that tend to go for a cheaper price, but the odds are not in your favor. So hobby boxes, the biggest gimmick of the hobby boxes is pretty much you're going to get most likely like a signature, automatic signature in it. So it obviously comes down to the sport. We all know out of nowhere lately, basketball's been taking off. Probably basketball cards, probably the most expensive cards you're coming across at the moment. For a long time, it was baseball cards. Throughout history, baseball cards probably have the best value throughout history. But the last couple of years, basketball cards are just taking off. Not comparing the sports, but it's just how things are going. So pretty much you got your blaster boxes. You find them in retail stores. You can go to your local like Walmart's, Targets, BJ's, anywhere that sells sports cards. They just have a very limited supply. Well, depending on which store you go to. Some just have 2 or 3 options per sports. Some may have up to 5 to 10. Anywhere along those lines. So hobby boxes are definitely the more expensive ones. Hobby boxes tend to be in the hundreds range or even thousands, depending on how rare that box is and what it brings. If it brings just one autograph for that sport, it may be $400, $500, $600. If you're looking at a box that just has 10 cards and they're all autos or they're like guaranteed numbered or classic cards, you're going to be paying a lot of money for it, but the turnaround could be in your favor if you get the right cards. And that's what collecting cards is all about. You're taking a gamble. You don't know what's inside this box. It's just the fun of opening the packs and just seeing what you have inside and getting it graded. Everybody loves sending out their card and they're just dying to see how good of a quality it is, because you could sit at home and look at it and just be like, oh, this card is a 10 out of 10, and then when you get it back it's like a 7 and you're just like, wait, why? And you have to sit there and just look at the details these companies are telling you. And sometimes people go down the competitive route where they're just like, oh, you know what, I don't like this grading, I'm gonna send it to PSA instead of this brand. So it's like the little things like that is just what keeps this hobby going. It's just the history behind it, but it's also just that, like Alex was saying, like that Aaron Judge 1-of-1 card. Sometimes not even about what the card is worth. Sometimes it's just about knowing that you're the only person in the world that has that one card. And there's a lot of people out there that want that card as bad as you, and they're willing to pay crazy amount of money to try to buy it off of you. And what's great about it is you have the power to decide if you want to keep that or if you think the value is worth more. So obviously, this hobby can get very expensive. It can get very frustrating. So you have to truly know how to go about it and consider what are great investments, what are bad investments, and when is the right time to invest. As we all know, the elephant in the room is that sports cards are currently, the stock is currently dropping because it was at an all-time high. 2020 was when everybody was seeing everything go crazy when it comes to the stocks, at least. But I don't feel like the hobby ever got affected in how much people love the cards. I feel like before it became a numbers thing, people were always going crazy for the cards, and people always been collectors. There's so many different type of collectors out there. You have your collectors that collect certain sets, where it's like, oh, I'm gonna collect all of the MLB top series 1990 cards, and they get all the cards from 1 to 200, 300, whatever the case is, right? So, and then you have your collectors that collect individual cards. You got your people who collect Jordan cards. You have people who collect modern cards, where it's like Zion or Luka, or future stars or college players that aren't even in the NBA. So you have such a big and broad hobby that's what's so great about it. It's not only so many different sports, but you also have cards. You have collectors who collect like Marvel cards. You have collectors who collect Star Wars cards. So it's like it's really turning into something beautiful, and I'm excited to see where it's gonna end up.
Some people, like you said before, some people pick their lane. I'm going to connect this individual, and I'm just going to stick to this. Or the team, I'm just going to pick this team, and I'm going to just go through there. Certain people just know what's popular, what's hot. They go for the money. They're not going for whatever. They just know that if I buy this card right now, it's 2,000, but I know that 4 or 5 years down the line, it's going to go up, it's going to triple, it's going to double, depending on what the player does. And it's all dependent on that. But it's all, and you just got to understand that you're paying a price point now, but everything is asset later on, and it's definitely going to be worth something later down the line. And you never know what you're going to get. You never know what player is going to be the next big thing, because every league has somebody. Everybody has that one player that's going to come out and show out. The NBA, like I said, right now with the NBA, especially the NBA, you have so many budding stars. And it's not just one specific. It's not like when LeBron came on the show, oh, it was LeBron. LeBron was like, boom, it was Bron, it was Melo, it was, but it was Bron. It was, everybody's, was focused on Bron. And now, especially now in this league today, with Luka, Trae Young, John Morant, you got all these players, man, and you don't know what they're gonna do, what's gonna happen. Especially then when you got the young boys that are gonna come in now in this draft. It's gonna be insane, because you don't know what's gonna happen, who's gonna move to a different destination, and how things are gonna add up. But it's always fun. Definitely, like I said, sports are very unpredictable, because you never know what's going to happen, and God forbid nobody ever gets hurt to the point where they can't play again. But it's definitely, like I said, it's a risky business in some sense or another. It is, but definitely the rewards later down the line you'll reap. It's like when you're doing stocks. You buy people that know how to invest in stocks and stuff like that. They take the risk. They take the risk in investing in something, and hopefully it'll double their money, or hopefully it'll do something, down the line.
Right.
Same thing with the card business. It's going to be like that. You're taking your money, you're investing in something, especially something that you care about and you love, and you're hoping that later down the line, you're either A, passing it on to somebody else, which is your kids or somebody, or it's enough to say, you know what, in this collection, you should be able to say, hey, I could pay for your college with these 3 cards. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty much good with it. So it's definitely it's definitely, like I said, it's a big investment. It's a scary investment, because you never know. Cards are, like I said, they're physical. Water gets on them. Anything happens, it's like, damn, you lose that. So it's a risky business, but it's fun. And like I said, we just want everybody to have fun as much as as Flip does with the cards. be able to have that fun and be able to relate, because it's fun to see those cards do well. Like I said, it's you get a Zion now, you don't know what Zion's going to be in the next 5-10 years. If he still continues to do great, guess what? You have a card that is waiting to get, to keep going up, especially the autos, especially the rookie cards and stuff like that. It'll definitely keep going up. So, yeah, man, it's like I said, it's depending on you, how your budget works and how things are. And then, it's always dependent on what the person sees in the card. It's sometimes some people think of it as just, it's just fun, whatever cards. But some people really take it super seriously, and I've met some people that really take it to heart. Take these cards like, oh no, it's, they'll buy 20, 30 packs. They'll go to different stores and get 30 different boxes just to be able to get that one card. So it's definitely fun to see. So, like I said, we'll keep talking about it. We'll keep definitely everybody informed on what's next, because we don't know. As long as we keep watching the game, and we never know who's going to be the next big thing, and and what awesome cards are we going to see later down the line. But definitely fun. It's definitely fun to see and notice.
Yeah, and it's definitely just bigger than who's the next big thing, because a lot of people collect certain players that they have a unique story to. So some people, instead of collecting Michael Jordan, they rather collect Scottie Pippen, or they rather Dennis Rodman, and they have a story behind it. Maybe they just like, I feel like defense wins games, so it obviously makes sense for you to get a Dennis Rodman card. Some people are tied to certain players because they met them in real life and they have a unique story with them. Sometimes it could be family members, friends, hometown hero. So it's a very unique story, and there's a lot of passion behind collectors, and it's nice to hear when a collector tells you why they collect certain cards, or like why they collect that specific player, because their unique stories are very touching, and it's very interesting too, because it's like, I never looked at it in that way, or wow, like this player made you feel that way, and you get that type of love from holding this person's card, having this graded card that you plan on having the rest of your life, that you don't plan on selling, because people have collectors in their PC, which is their personal collection, and these people have cards, or they're just like, I'm not selling this no matter what. I don't care what somebody offers me. This card means a lot to me. And there's like a lot of players you'll see online, a lot of sellers, a lot of collectors online that you'll see, they're like, I got this one card, I unpacked it, and then I sold it, and I regretted it. So a couple months later, I found it, and I rebought it for more, just so I can have it back in my hands. So just to hear they took a loss on their investment just to keep these cards is very fascinating.
Definitely, and it goes to show you that sometimes you regret it. You make a mistake, and usually and it sucks that whatever person had to pay double. You had to pay the price to get back the card, or whatever may be the price. But it definitely goes to show you that it's a pretty much a love thing. It's all about love and what you put into it. So it does, like I said, everything holds meaning in some way or another. It's whether it be personal, whether it be just financial, whether it just be the love of the game. People just do certain things, man. It's anything collectible. You know what I'm saying? People collect sneakers to, because they love. Some people collect certain sneakers because they just love that brand, or they just love Michael Jordan, or just love the sneaker itself, and those things tend to hold a certain value just because of or they have a personal attachment to them. It's just the way it is. And then some people just do it because it's a fad. To kind of I just do it now because of it. But sneakers is definitely different from trading cards, because it's not the same collector. Definitely a very different different area. But yeah, definitely I agree with you 100%. It's all about the love and what you put into it.
So for the next segment, we're gonna go on to the top five cards to purchase at the moment, and always keep in mind that it's not always about what player is playing the best. It's just about what the market is going for. Sometimes they're just random players that you're just like, oh, why is this card going up? It doesn't make sense. And it's just kind of like stocks, where it just happens and it happens. Like that whole thing that happened with like GameStop, where a lot of people were like not investing in it. It took off, and then everybody's investing, and then a bunch of people just lost money because that hype went down. So it's about investing for in the right cards at the right time, and it's also luck. At the end of the day, you can't just guess what cards are gonna take off, and you can look at the numbers as much as you want. You can have an idea. You can probably get 70% there, but you truly won't have that 100% all the time, and it's okay. So, for example, there's certain cards that don't truly make sense why they're going up based off the norm. So you have players that are injured, and out of nowhere you see their card go up, and it's just like, why is it going up? This is something we don't know, and that's what's exciting about this hobby. So, for example, the Select K Cunningham 2021 Select number 116 premium level silver card has gone up in the last 30 days over 100% of what it was costing, and it's like, it doesn't really matter what the value was before. It's just like, why is the value going up? So that's a note. I don't have it on the top 5, but it's a notable one, and this is what I'm trying to point out, where sometimes it doesn't make sense, and it's okay. You don't have to break your head trying to figure out what's going on. So at number 5, I have the 1996 Kobe card. So it's the base 1996 Topps numbered 138 card. It's not numbered like 1 out of something or whatever the case is. It's just, how every card in the back has the actual number of the set. So it's number 138. It's just a regular base card. It's him in a Lakers jersey with number 8. This is around the time where he had his hair cut. And it's going up. In the last 30 days, it went up 9.6%. In the last 7 days, 1.6%. So, I feel like the last 2 years, Kobe cards have been doing great. Unfortunately, there's a little trend when certain great players pass away, where their stocks take off. But yeah, this Kobe card it looks great. It has that classic look to it. He's going up for like a layup. It's a nice classic Topps 1990s card, and 1996 was a good year for Kobe. So look out for that card if you guys are interested. There's many cards out there. You can probably find right now it's, you can find one in the 70s range. It really depends what grade you're trying to get. If you're trying to get like a PSA 10, you're probably looking at around $900. Around that range. If not, it's gonna go well into the thousands. But like the best price you can go for is around anywhere. If you find anything in the 800s, you want to probably invest in that, because that card seems to keep going up. So that's the number 5 spot, which was Kobe Bryant. The next one I have is Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole's 2019 Prism number 272 silver card is doing pretty well. It's in the last 30 days, it's gone up 74.6%. In the last 7 days, it's gone up 26.2%. So if you're looking at a PSA 10 card, you're looking at roughly around $300. And this card is a great investment, especially now that Stephen Curry is injured. And I just feel like Jordan Poole is showing his talent, and I feel like when Steph comes back into the lineup, they gotta give him more playing time and make them mesh together, because if you have both of them on the court together, it'll create a lot of space. You have great shooters that can be on the wing, like Klay Thompson, and it's like just adding Jordan Poole, where he can attack the basket, he can make those jump shots, he can make shots from the key. Like, you want players like that, and I know they know his talent. Like they've been giving him playing time even when Steph was on the court. But I just feel like if they somehow figure out that 1-2 and keep him in the starting lineup, maybe move Klay to the small forward position, I feel like they can do something big with that. So that was number 4. At number 3, I know Alex is excited to talk about this person. We have Donovan Mitchell. He dropped 71 points last night, and it was insane. Just like watching the highlights of that game, like just gave me that feel of like back in the day when Kobe has 81 on the Raptors, and it just like it always makes you think of the scoring record, that Wilt Chamberlain 100 points, like just seeing him score 71, I'm just like, damn, is doable, and there's gonna be a player out there one day that's gonna score that 100 or more. But it's just insane to see how big of a performance 71 points is, and somehow, some way, it's not even close to what Kobe and Wilt did. You know, like he was 10 points away from getting to where Kobe was. Kobe has the second highest scoring record in one game, and it's just insane. It's insane to me that, I think Donovan Mitchell is one of those players that made the greatest move this summer, and it's showing in his game. I just feel like him leaving the Jazz and playing for the Cavaliers, being that guy, just being that lead. Like it feels like they got like a LeBron back in the team, and it's Donovan Mitchell.
For you, it's opposite. For me, it pisses me off. He should have been a Knick. He should have been drafted. He should have been drafted a Knick. But watching him do what he does, it's amazing. Like I said, it's good for the sport, man. It's good for him. He got out of Utah. I don't think he ever wanted to leave Utah because he said it himself. He thought that Danny Ainge was going to run everything back. But Danny Ainge, being the person that he is, sold that team. But now it benefits, like I said, it benefits the Cavs because the Cavs look great. Donovan Mitchell's really, that team is turned around huge. It's not like they're, like I said, they're not scrubs. So, and, it's just great to see him do what he did last night. It was good to see that he's healthy, that he's playing, he's playing for something.
Right.
He's got something to prove, and you could tell by that game last night was kind of like his mark there. I mean, is he done? I don't think so, but he's definitely pushing the envelope. He's trying to, like I said, he's got a case, and he's gonna prove it.
And this is not the first time we see Donovan Mitchell have a high scoring game. He has had multiple 50-point games, 40-point games easily. I just feel like you said, this is not the end of it, and I just feel like he's gonna take that rhythm, that hype behind it, that love he's gonna get after that. I'm pretty sure if people seen Donovan Mitchell on the streets, they're just like, yo, you that guy. Everybody's loving him in Cleveland right now, and I'm sorry to hear that you ain't get him in your Knicks, but maybe down the line, who knows? Gotta pay that man.
No, we're not paying nobody.
Yeah.
That's it.
So
James no one ain't paying nobody.
Yeah. So at the number 2 spot, we have Luka Doncic. He's another player that had a crazy game, and it's insane. Like this is the first time it's been done in history where they come back down that amount of points. What was it? They was down no, they were down 8, right? 8 with how many seconds left?
Not that many seconds. I forgot how the seconds were.
Yeah, and it's just yeah, and it's
no. Yeah. I'm sorry. My bad.
No, you're good. So just watching Luka's performance, that was another video that went off. It just took off on YouTube, took off in ESPN, took off every outlet you could think of, Instagram, Twitter, and a lot of people went out and bought Luka cards. Like, it's insane. Like, I went online the next day to see what Luka cards were going for, and it skyrocketed off of one game. So that just shows how the hobby is affected by real life performance. And you will have these people that go online and buy these cards, and they may not understand the concept of how the prices go up and down. So they're buying these cards the day after he had this performance. So it's like, these sellers, kudos to these sellers that they're gonna make their profits, but it's just insane to me that how much Luka's cards went up overnight.
Oh yeah, bro. But the thing is that every night he's doing this.
Mm-hmm.
He's out there. He's out there just doing it. However he can. He's just busting his ass, and he's putting up the numbers.
Yeah.
And the more he keeps doing things like that, I think it's just gonna keep. The card is just gonna keep going up, man. Yeah. It's just gonna keep going up, and like I said, it's gonna get insane if he wins MVP this year. Which, like I said, is really gonna depend on where the Mavs Obviously, playoffs kind of matter in that situation.
Right.
If the Mavs do make the playoffs, I think that he'll get a strong MVP voting. I think so because he does deserve it. I mean, he's out here doing it by himself, basically. He's out here. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, I'm not a big fan of him, but I respect his work and he's just doing. Like I said, he's working. He's definitely working,
Yeah.
and it goes to show you that you know it's
Yeah.
it's insane. And like I said, it was a hell of a game. I watched the game. It shocked the hell out of me. To see the shots that he was dropping. It was like, what the hell's going on? But to do what he did, it was definitely I could see why people really love Luka, and
Yeah.
and the stats prove it. So
Yeah, and it's crazy because like in the last top five, I had Luca on there, and he keeps showing up. There's a reason for it, and it's showing in the numbers. It's crazy to me how in the Western Conference they're the fourth seed right now, especially being with the team they had. I'm not saying they have a team where they don't have good players. It's just they don't have that star power you see in other teams, and they're making it work somehow. And it's through Luca. Luca's putting, like you said, he's doing it night after night. He's giving you those 20 plus games night after night, 30 plus games easily. So it's nice to see how one player can be dominant like that, and we've obviously seen that in the past with players like LeBron and Jordan and so many more to name. So I'm excited to see if Luka's gonna win MVP, and for sure that one individual game, it boosted his stocks, but it also boosts his progression towards that MVP run. And right now, that he might be in first because of it. So at
yeah,
number one, we have the golden child, Zion Williams, once again. Zion cards are killing it. This man is hurt right now, and there's still people purchasing his cards because they're just like, you know what? He got hurt originally when he came into the league. He came back, did his thing, and it's just like, damn, he's hurt again. But I know people still believe in him because when he's playing, he's putting those numbers up. It doesn't matter how long he was out; he's gonna come back and put his numbers up, which is insane to me. And he's a dog. He could really ball out, and he's really showing that every time he comes back. So I hope he stays healthy. I hope he can come back before the end of the season and make that run, because right now they have the third seed in the Western Conference, right above Dallas Mavericks, and the only two teams above them is the Grizzlies and the Denver Nuggets. So just it's crazy to me how the West has changed over the years, because back in the days you always had the Lakers, the Spurs, like those teams getting. Yeah, the Warriors. The Warriors are the ninth seed right now. The ninth seed. I understand Stephen Curry's hurt, but it's insane to me how they're the ninth seed.
yeah. I mean, it's not. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
When I look at the standings and I'm looking at the Memphis Grizzlies being the first, I'm like,
Yeah,
who would have thought?
they
Who would have thought the Memphis will ever be
yeah
the number one seed in the West?
they're actually
You
tied
know,
with Denver right now, which is
that,
insane.
I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
it's Denver, and it's Denver
Yeah.
because it's not like, and the same thing in Denver.
Mm-hmm.
When Denver has, you got the Joker over there,
Yeah.
you know, and it's not like he's getting any shine, but he's putting up numbers too, and he looks that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that it's insane. It's insane watching how the league in the West has changed. It's changed the guard a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The East, pretty much to me, has always kind of remained that same for the last couple of years. With Boston, Brooklyn, Milwaukee. What really changes a lot is like 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 10.
Right.
Those are really the top ones.
Mm-hmm.
Those are really the ones that really flex and move around. The Knicks a couple years ago was the 6th seed, coming out. Right now the Pacers are the 6th seed, and the Pacers are playing good basketball.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, 76ers are, like I said, another team that I feel like should be better, but they're not.
Mm-hmm.
So they're there, like they said, they're there in the 5th seed. Obviously Boston, Brooklyn, and Milwaukee taking those 3 spots.
Yeah.
And now that Brooklyn is actually starting to gel and play basketball together,
Mm-hmm.
they're definitely a problem. Kyrie the other night, went nuts. But it's crazy how the West to me is the most surprising thing ever.
Did you see the
You know?
video that went viral? Kyrie, he caught a putback dunk. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Nabi took the shot, and then he
yeah,
just with authority too, not
yeah.
just some
Mhm.
simple ass layup. No, this
Yeah,
dude went
he caught it.
in.
He caught it one handed and yammed it in, and it's crazy
Yeah,
because like it was like one of those dunks where it's like a rim grazer where it's like he didn't get like all the way up there like your high flyers do, but like he put it down with force, so it just made it that much better, being that he's like a shorter guy on the court.
not like he's 7 foot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, and it's crazy because he's not a short person. It's just when you compare it next to these NBA players, he's much shorter. So it's just insane to me how, but it's crazy because a lot of people don't realize that he's known for doing that. Where he does these fast breaks dunks. It's just much better when you see it off of a rebound. He caught it in the air. It's not like he caught it, came down, and just put it back. He caught it in the air, one-handed, and yammed it with force. And you love to see it. The Nets are playing great. They're going on streaks. And right now, they respectively the number 2 seed. They're a game back from Boston. They're 25-12, and Boston Celtics are 26-11. And just to make a correction from earlier, Denver Nuggets have the first seed. They're up by half a game. It's 24-13. And Grizzlies are right behind them, 23-13. So it's really fun basketball right now. It's fun to see how the league is so competitive, and these teams are truly putting their players together, and they're doing the right things.
No. And it's crazy how right now, as we stand, Minnesota, the Lakers, San Antonio, and Houston. Those teams are pretty dominant in the West. They're at the bottom of the hole. They're at the bottom. Oklahoma's always been at the bottom. I'm not going to count. But those 4 teams were pretty notable, and they were high. For Minnesota being 11th, it's kind of insane, being that the team that they have. But I'm guessing, from what I was reading, there's a little bit of tension going on in that locker room. So, especially with Anthony Edwards and stuff like that. But it's crazy when Golden State is 9. Portland is still that weird middle team.
Yeah,
but they're still hanging in there. And the Suns completely dropped.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? The Suns completely fell off the grid. I know with the whole thing they had going on with their owner, probably that got in the middle, but that team just doesn't look the same. The Knicks obviously caught a dub the other night off of them. They played great basketball the other night. The Suns just didn't look like the Suns at all. So the funniest part here, Sacramento is 5th.
Yeah, that's definitely a sleeper right there.
Sacramento's in 5th, and the Clippers are right behind them. At number 6. But it's insane that team, from what they were not too long ago, they traded Halliburton. They traded, they got rid of some of these players that they had through the draft. They got Sabonis. They got the right mindset. That they're just playing good basketball. They're playing hella good basketball, and that's they picked up little players here and there, Malik Monk, Herter, things like that, and they look good. They look good. I mean, they're playing good basketball. DeAndre Fox is putting up solid numbers. Somebody, he was in trade talks not too long ago. They're all going to trade De'Aaron Fox, but he's there and he's doing well, man. It's insane, and like I said, it's weird to see, but it's good as well.
For sure,
it's good for the league. So
yeah.
It's always good for the league when you're seeing these teams that are bottom of the market teams actually starting to win and put up, having people come into the stands and come into the stadium and watch them, because it's good for the league, and you get to see like I said, their roster: Harrison Barnes, Matthew Dellavedova, which played, he was on the championship team with the Bucks, so you got that presence there. Kevin Herter. Trey Lyles, it's a lot of good players, man. They just have a lot of good I guess they got it going on, man. Whatever they're doing in Sacramento, I hope that it keeps going because it definitely reminds me of those days, when Sacramento had, Peja Stojakovic, Chris Webber, Jason Williams, Mike Bibby. They were running. They were running over there. They were always in playoff talk. So definitely good to see, man. It's definitely good basketball this year, man. It's definitely
And
so.
I'm gonna call it that somehow, some way, the Lakers might sneak into the playoffs. The reason I feel that is I feel like LeBron's turning that notch. He had two back-to-back 40-plus games, and he joined that selected few who have done that. Nowadays it seems like it's very doable in the league, but I just feel like LeBron's turning up that notch, and it's not that bad because if you look at the eighth seed, it's 20 and 18. So if they're 16 and 21 right now, the Lakers, if they can flip that into a positive season where they go on a run, if they do what the Nets did, where they go on a 10-12 game run, like I feel like that's what they need to boost their spirits because they have the talent. It's just I feel like they're still looking a little weird when it comes to getting that chemistry down together, and just having people get hurt on and off, like it just kind of messes up the vibe. You had Anthony Davis that came back, and he had a couple of games where he was dominant. I remember the one game I saw that they played the Washington Wizards. He was dominating Porzingis. I think he dropped 50 that game, and it's like, yeah, it's great you're doing that, but you got to be around and do that more often. So I just feel like if somehow they can get healthy and LeBron is just LeBron where he changes the energy on the court, they can sneak into that eighth seed because the Suns are like having an on and off season. I don't know, something just the vibe is just off with them.
It's not the same team that we saw a couple years ago that went to
the Western,
you go for the chip.
The chip, exactly.
So it's definitely not the same team, So whatever the vibe is going on there now, as much as I can sit here and say that LeBron is definitely turning on that switch, and I'm not even going to go in the direction of age, because right now LeBron looks ageless, being 38 years old and still balling the way he is, because that's, to me, I just don't know how much he can keep going like that. And that's definitely a big thing because it's not easy pushing that keep pushing that team, putting it on your back every constant night and expect to have the same energy. Anthony Davis going down to that freak ass injury is definitely a big problem. That team not gelling the way it's supposed to gel it's hard enough. But LeBron can't do it on his own. And as much as I want to sit here and say maybe they'll probably get a play-in. I'll say is that. I'll go as far as they'll get a play-in. But are they going to win the play-in? No. I don't think so. I think LeBron's just going to get gassed by the time that comes up. Unless he finds like this crazy second win, bro. But you can't do it by yourself, man. It's hard to do it by yourself.
Let's wrap up the podcast. I want to thank everybody for watching. Make sure you guys are subscribing. Leave a like and a comment. I like the comments you guys have been leaving in the last couple of podcasts. It's been great to read and reply to. I want to thank you guys for it. So just let me know what cards you guys are going for. Let me know what NBA team you guys are rooting for, and let me know what your predictions are for the rest of the season and what moves you think you're gonna see. So make sure you guys subscribe, leave a like and a comment. Is your boy KUDOS. We have our co-host Alex, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.
And guys, before we go, I actually want to give a decent fortunately, I found out this morning Ken Block, probably one of my personal heroes, World Rally Champion, just all around driver, passed away unfortunately due to a snowmobile accident. 55 years old, man. Definitely a big. If any of you guys are into motorsport, know who Ken Block is. If you're not, please go watch his YouTube videos. Go watch the Jim Connor videos. Definitely a big loss in motorsport. Just definitely a great soul. Just from the person that he was, from watching all his videos and watching the type of father that he was, raising his kids and stuff like that. So definitely a big loss, and shout outs to the family, and hope God will keep them and guide them and help them heal a little bit here.
Yeah, for sure. Rest in peace to him, and we wish his family the best. And the best thing about that is keep his memories, keep like he says, search the videos up, and just show support, leaves comments, and chime in if you guys are aware who he is. So once again, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode. We're looking to bring on a guest in the next couple weeks, so you should be excited for that. So I'll catch you later. Peace.
Peace out.